This is part 3. I'm in a different location. I haven't started filming immediately after the last one. I went off and did a couple of things that I had to do, because one of them involves me mopping the floor, and my dog could come home at any point. Like, I don't know, sometimes like it's predictable how long she's going to be, and other times like she's a lot longer. So I like the floor to be dry, because if it's not dry, you can see little prints on it. Like it's not easy, but you can see like little paw prints or footprints. So there's been a few times where I've done it and like it's been drying for only 5 minutes, and it could take anywhere up to half an hour depending on what I've mopped it with, whether it's like the spray mop or a real mop, and like depending if there's like a cool breeze blowing through the house or if it's humid. Like sometimes it takes longer to dry than other times. There's been times when my dad's come home and he's been really angry at me because I'm like, please, can you like wait outside for at least 5 minutes for it to dry a little bit more? And he just gets like, he doesn't have any patience. He's just not happy about it. So that's why I didn't film the third part. Like, I've planned to film for like 15 minutes in total, and now I've got 3 clips that I'm going to put into 3 videos. I'm going to put like 2 up on the same day, like, or maybe even all 3. Like, if you've watched all 3 in a row, let me know. I mean, I might put them up one day apart, but really it's just me rambling on, so whatever. But I am short on footage, so who knows what'll happen. I'm extremely thirsty. I don't think I've drank enough today. Or before I talk about what I've drank and what I've not drank. Yeah, so I vacked the floor and I've mopped it and done some more. Well, I did some other stuff before I vacked, and then did a couple of things, and then I made this iced latte drink. Salted caramel, it's the Audi one. Brought it up here. I didn't put it in here because the sun's blurring in here. And I brought up Aldi's version of, there's some bites. I always forget what they're called. They're not as good as the originals, but they're better than nothing. And then I went and mopped the floor and came up here and like started filming. My eyes are burning because I'm tired, and that's why I said I'd probably not had enough liquid as well. So I had my morning coffee, which I put a lot more extra coffee than normal, and I always put like at least like a quarter of a spoon in with the sachet, and I put over half in today. I've had an orange Lucozade that I got in my 3 for 2 at Asda on Friday, and I've had a small bottle of water, which I had just before I started filming those 2 clips. So I've definitely not had enough. But also I'm extremely tired because my husky did not let me have a lie-in, and it's Sunday, and she doesn't always. Sometimes she'll let me sleep till like 8 o'clock. There's been the rare occasion where on maybe 5 times in the last year she's let me sleep till just before 10 a.m. and I've actually woken up and she's been on the bed, and then she's realised I'm awake and she comes to me. And there's been about 3 occasions in total, and I mean, I feel lucky to be able to say this, she's let me sleep till 11 o'clock 3 times in the last year. I mean, if I'm going to sleep at 5-6 in the morning, you know, 11 o'clock is really nice. Last night I could not get to sleep. I was firstly doing some editing for this channel, and also I was doing some uploading. So say I've filmed something, whether it's me filming it or, you know, something's been witnessed on camera, I upload it to 3 different places, and it's very time consuming. So sometimes when I'm having to upload things to 3 different places, and it's not always because of something I've seen, sometimes I just have backups of some of my videos in other places. So it can be very time consuming. If it's like an half-an-hour video and I'm had to upload it 3 times, it can take a lot of time. So I was doing some editing. Like, I edited today's food haul. I've edited what I filmed on Friday, like a vlog type car chat video, but obviously that's not going to go up for a while. But I just filmed it because that was the last bit of footage on my phone that would need editing. And then when I upload that, what I do, so I know when it's filmed, like obviously in the description I always put, do you know, when you go in the description box right at the bottom, I always put the date. But it's a bit of a pain for me to keep like if I've got 15 videos uploaded and it's a vlog or an unboxing and I've just put a title on, it's really difficult for me to go and look on and see when it was filmed. So now, and I've only recently started to do this, which is going to save me a lot of time and make things easy for me, I'll write out the description box and like put the date, but then on the title I will just put the date, and if it's obviously like a vlog or a card chat, I won't put anything else. But if it's an unboxing and I can't tell what it is, I might put 12th of October B&M. I mean, obviously we're in August, I'm not putting that at this point, but that's the sort of thing I'd put. So previous to that, I was reluctant to edit things out of order. Do you know, like I would go back to the thing that I filmed furthest ago, because even if I was writing the date in the description, I was still having to click on videos to see what video comes first, and there might be like 15 videos ready to go up, and it was just time consuming. So I'm more likely to edit something that I filmed recently than scroll back a while, because there's felt like, I think there's like 7,000 videos on my phone. I need to get some off, and I am trying to do that, but then I film more stuff and then I'm uploading certain things to 3 places and it takes hours. Like it could take a good hour to upload one video in 3 different places. So I was editing and uploading, and if you think, say the final video, if it's a vlog or even an unboxing, more so with vlogs seem to take me longer, because vlogs takes me longer. Like when I first started doing these videos, I would just put the clips together and stick it up without watching it. Now I don't do it anymore unless I know I've not said anything, but I still have to watch it, so that's obviously going to take time off me. Like if it's a 12-minute video, I'm going to have to watch the 12 minutes anyway just to make sure. But at the moment I literally have no filter, so I'm just like talking, and there's things that I shouldn't be saying, or there's things that I wouldn't necessarily want to go up on here on a public one, but I might put up privately, or I might not put up privately, and I might always say to certain people, because there is stuff going on behind the scenes that I can't talk about. But obviously I am, you know, being affected by people, and obviously I want it to stop. So sometimes I start talking and I don't even know what I'm saying half the time. I'm so stressed out, I'm so tired, my physical health ain't great, I'm just so mentally drained, it's just unreal. And I just talk, so I do have to edit videos, and half the time I don't even have time to, or don't have the mental energy to, or just don't want to. So, you know, and there was a long time where like the reason, like a lot of the reasons why I'm not getting videos up is because of how I'm being made to feel. I don't film much. Like I'm filming today, I've filmed 3 different videos, like me just rambling on, and if you sit through it and watch it, then obviously that's your choice. Some of you don't mind not seeing me, some of you do. Like you're not always going to see me. Like I would find it so much easier to film these videos than ones where I'm sat in my car, because I don't have the opportunity to sit in my car that often by myself. I've always got a husky with me, and as much as I don't mind filming when we go to dog walks, sometimes I go to dog walks and I just want to sit there and I want to drink some of my Lucasade Sport, and if I need a snack, have a snack. I don't always have a snack. Sometimes I need to make a couple of calls, sometimes I need to reply to some messages, and that's what I do before a walk. Like, and sometimes I just get there, have a drink, you know, get myself ready, and I'm out the car in 5 minutes. And sometimes I need to be out the car in 5 minutes because I don't have much time to do the dog walk because of a certain situation that I'm in, like on my street. So it all varies, but on a Friday I do try and talk when I get to the shop. I mean, sometimes I have to work myself up to go in the shop because of how I feel, and I use that time to make a call or 2 calls, and sometimes I'll film. Sometimes I don't film, sometimes I do. I feel like I'm rubbing something in my eye. It is time consuming. Like I'm going to edit try and edit and get the videos up that I filmed today. Obviously they're not going to go up, they'll just, they're on my channel and it'll have the date on them, like whatever, so I know what date they are, because I'm trying to get the older ones up. I mean, there's probably things that are going to go up that aren't vloggy type videos that are recent. Like I might do an unboxing tomorrow and it might go up the day after. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, I'm just using an example. But I think I said in another video, just scroll in the description to the bottom and you'll see when it's filmed. Sometimes I don't put the day, like I might not put like the 12th, but you know, the 90 or there's a 90% chance there'll be at least the month and the year there, and there's a good chance there'll be a day. Oh God, I'm rubbing my t-shirt on my eye, but I think I might have got perfume on the t-shirt and I might be rubbing that in my eye because my eyes are stinging because I'm really tired. So I couldn't sleep last night even when I went to bed. And I was watching stuff and my head was just going round and round. And sometimes it helps to watch stuff to try and distract myself, and I laid down and I couldn't sleep. And I think it was like, what was it, like 3 in the morning or something. And I was hoping like the dog would let me have a little lie-in. So like maybe like 10, I would be happy with 10, like 10 to 10 o'clock, whatever. So I woke up at one point and it was light outside, but do you know when you're really tired and you just, I can't even function, I can't even look what time it is. And I think I looked, but I have no memory of what the actual time was. Got back in bed and I remember the dog getting on the bed at some point, but I don't remember what happened. But then, what did she do? I can't remember the first thing she did to try and wake me up. She came to me, I mean she was already on the bed, but she came to me and she does this thing where she picks my hand up, and sometimes she'll do it with her paw, like she'll bend, like she'll turn her paw into like a claw kind of thing, and she'll try and lift my hand up. Sometimes she'll do it with like, she'll push a nose underneath it and lift it. Sometimes she'll lift it with her mouth. I can't remember what she did. I think she pushed her head under it, so my hand was on her head. But I immediately fell back to sleep because I was exhausted. Like, I'm mentally drained. Like I said, I'm mentally drained. Physically, like, I'm tired because I have been doing more in general. My health isn't 100%, so I was just, and I was up after that. I was up till at least 3. I think it got to about 3ish. I think I laid down before 3, but I think I remember looking at the time around 3. I think I went for a wee or something. And fell back to sleep, and she did it again. And I'm thinking, oh my God, like, let me sleep. Like, I didn't have a clue what time it was. I couldn't, like, and I think I was on my back, but I was facing away from her, from memory. I mean, I don't know. And she just kept on at me. And then she kept like putting my hand on her head, and it just kept falling off because I was just like, I was more asleep than I was awake. Do you know what I mean? And I think she did that thing, and all huskies do this, where she'll turn her back on me and sit, and she'll expect me to stroke her back, and I didn't, and that's when she got vocal with me. And like, she does the wow 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 wow, like the husky thing. Then she does this high pitch thing, and I'm like, oh my God, let me go to sleep. And I remember she did something, so my hand ended up on her head or something, or her leg or her head, I can't remember what, because she turned back round. And I stroked her briefly. Do you know when you're there like thinking to stroke, because she'll like let you fall asleep? And I fell asleep, and I don't know how long I was asleep for, because you know sometimes you fall asleep and like you wake up 10 seconds later and you don't have a clue how long you've been asleep for. But I think she'd let me go to sleep for like 5 minutes or something. And then all I heard was wow, wow, wow. And then she hits you with her paw. Like, she don't hit you hard. She taps you with her paw. She's a little madam for it. I don't like it when she does it on my face. Like, she didn't do it on my face, but there's been a couple of times when she's tried to wake me up and she's put a paw on my face, but she has a little cut. She has it like in a little claw, like she's trying to, do you know, like when she tries to scoop my hand up, and she's like caught my face with her claws before now, and it hurts. It's not like the most painful thing, but it's not pleasant. And I just remember like the paw like hitting me, like it's not hitting me, she's just putting it on me. She's like, come on, wake up. I'm like there thinking, don't speak to her, she'll know you're awake. And I think I fell asleep again, and then that's when I got a high pitched thing off her again. I'm like, oh my God, this dog is not gonna let me sleep. Then she licks my hand, and I'm there like, oh my God. She like pushes her nose under it and turns it over. I mean, she's pretty clever, this dog. Licks it, and I'm thinking, oh God, just go to sleep, dog. I need an hour at least. Like, I didn't have a clue what time it was. I think it was like 8:10 or something, and typically I'm awake. But, you know, it would be nice, because yesterday I was awake before 8. Like, she got me up before 8, and even though I'd probably only had about 6 hours sleep, I was like, you know what, I'm going to get up, I'm going to drink lots of coffee. I had lots of caffeine yesterday, and it kept me going. But today I just really struggled with it. And then she was just very vocal with me. Like, I briefly fell asleep again, and she's there like tapping with her bloody paw, and I'm like, oh oh my God, she's not going to let me sleep. I'm going to have to get up. And I just wasn't happy about it. But for her to mither me, it means she wants to go out. She wouldn't do that. Like, if she didn't need to go out, like really need to go out, she would have just let me go back to sleep. Like, she's really good about it. She's learned, like, obviously she's not a puppy anymore. She has learned how to behave and stuff, and how to, like, you know, obviously if I'm not waking up, to let me go back to sleep. And she's pretty good with it, in all honesty. But today, out of all the weekends, I could have done with at least another hour. Like, I secretly hoped to sleep to at least 10, and then there was a part of me going, wouldn't it be great if she let me sleep to 11? And I knew she wouldn't. But yeah, it was like around 8ish when she woke me up, and I think, like, because I did fall asleep on and off, I think I finally, like, and the reason I knew it was before 8, because one of the times I did, because I've got my watch on, I sneakily managed to look at the time on my watch. And it's very difficult to do, because if she sees me moving, then that's it. And then obviously when I knew I was going to have to bow down to her and get up, I looked again, and it taken her about 25 to, like, I'd say 25 minutes to get me to fully respond. But I was just so exhausted. I am tired now. I came down with her, literally let her straight out and made an extra strong coffee, but I've not had enough to drink. So yeah, I'm going to finish my iced coffee. My floor should be dry now, actually. And I'm going to see what's left on my to-do list, and hopefully I can finish it today. Hopefully nothing will happen outside my house that will affect me, because when things happen, obviously nothing gets done. Then I'm behind, and then I'm trying to catch up, and then stuff goes on for days at a time. And then I'm trying to fit in like 5 days of stuff in 2 days, and I'm rushing around like an idiot because I'm not allowed to do it any other time because I'm being affected. There's something on my list that I know that there's something on my list that I know I'm not gonna do today, and it's washing and drying clothes. I mean, at this point of the day, it's like 5:30. I'm not gonna do it, but I might go and put the clothes in the washer ready, and then what I've got on today can go in, and I'll put it on in the morning. So that's one thing I know I'm definitely not going to do, but I can prepare it. And also I was going to go through one of my kitchen cupboards, but unless I do it later on, it depends like what happens in the next few hours involving my neighbours. If nothing happens, I might do it, but it depends on how tired I am, because I might sit and edit. Although I do struggle with that when I'm tired, but we'll see what I get done. But those are the two things that I may not get done, but I will prep the washing. I'll put all the soap and everything in, like the colour catcher, everything. It'll be ready to go on. So it's technically half done. I just need to switch it on in the morning and put anything else in that I might have. So those are the two things that I definitely, well, one's going to get half done, and the other one's depending on how I feel after, and if anything goes on outside. By the way, I'm using this coaster. I mean, it's got drink on it. You are some kind of wonderful. I'm going to take that down with me, actually. But I put my drink on it. Do you know what? I could keep it up here, because I can see where I've been putting drinks. I might keep this up here, actually. Because I've got one that I use downstairs. Other than that, I can't remember what's on my to-do list. I know I've got more done today than yesterday. Yesterday I was very down. Very, very down. I was massively affected on Friday by people on my street. That's all I'm going to say. And yesterday I was just so down because of it. But I did get some done, but not much. And I knew how down I felt that I wouldn't get much done. And that's why I sat and did some editing. But I have got a lot of my to-do list done. I've put more stuff on it today. Like, I've cut my grass in my back garden for the second time this week. I've had 2 opportunities this week to do my garden, thankfully. And I really wanted to do it, like, well, the other day I did it and it was still wet outside because we have drainage issues. So even if it's not like rained for a week, it's still wet out there. And it had only not rained for like a day. And I was like, I really need to cut the grass. And I was cutting it, and like, I hate cutting it when it's wet. And then there was a part of the garden where there was like 2 inches of water. And I did right up to that point. The rest wasn't that wet. Like, it was wet, but it weren't like, there weren't water on the surface. So I did as much as it could the other day, and I did a few other things in the garden the other day. And I was like, I hope there's an opportunity for me to do it weekend. and it's not out to do with me, it's to do with other people. And there was an opportunity and I went out and I cut my grass again. It grows so fast out back, honestly. If I don't cut out grass for like 2 weeks, it's like 4 inches to 6 inches tall. That's no exaggeration. That's because it's always wet out there. Even if it don't rain for 2 weeks, yeah, it's a lot drier, but it's not fully dry. Like, it's still not great, but it's like drier than it is normally, obviously. So yeah, today I've cut the grass, I've tidied the garden, I've done some like tidying on the stonework. There was some grass growing through again. It keeps going through in the same area on some of the like gaps. Well, not gaps, like where they join each other. I don't know what else to say. I did a few other things out there. I had a hanging basket and most of it had died. I mean, so it's all going to start dying anyway. Like when the season changes, we're going to have to, well, I know what's going to go in the pots. I've already decided what I'm going to put in the pots in the front garden, and I've got one hanging at the back. But basically, I had a plant pot outside that had some purple flowers in, so I basically took out what was in the hanging basket and repotted the purple ones with some fresh soil or whatever, compost. So the garden's done. I mean, I did start painting the fence in the week. I made a stupid decision because the outside of the fence has been painted and it needs a second coat. And the second coat's not going to get done this year. I'm just being real with you. I found it very difficult to find the opportunity to paint it, and I'm not going to be able to do a second coat until the schools go back next month. And then also it's also dependent on if neighbours are around or not. So I decided one coat's going to be enough. It's green, but it's not as green as it would be if I put a second coat on, but it looks good, so it'll do for now. So I midweek was like, do you know what, I'm going to do the inside the same colour because it's a totally different colour on the inside. And I don't 100% love how it looks because one of the fence panels was very patchy, so I did a coat of it a couple of weekends ago and it still didn't look good to me. So I was like, do you know what, I'm sick of that one fence panel not looking great. I'm just going to do it the same colour as the outside. Obviously it's not going to come out the same colour because the colour on the outer fence was like a reddy toned browny colour, but it weren't brown. It's like a terracotta brown kind of colour. So obviously putting green over that, it's going to be a different colour to putting it green over what's on now. So I was like, do you know what, if I do it, I'm just going to do one coat of it. I'm not going to do 2 coats because it's going on a colour that I don't believe it needs 2 coats. And I started it and then I realised we've got a fence that runs between the 2 houses and it's pretty long. Like, it's the length of the house and the length of the garden. And when I painted it the first time, it was so well, it was all time consuming in general because the fence hadn't been painted for a long time, so it just soaked up the fence paint. So the first coat took forever because it kept just soaking it up. The second coat was quicker, but it definitely needed a third coat because it was so dry and it'd not been painted for a long time. But anyway, it had 2 coats, except for there's a couple of places where it only had 1 coat, but I'd finished them off a few weeks ago. Like I said, I did another coat on that panel that was doing my head in. It took me ages up there for a couple of hours finishing it all off. Anyway, I was like, do you know what, I'm going to paint it this green. It'll match the outside, but it won't be the same green because it's going on a different undercolour. And I started it, and then I realised I didn't have enough paint to do it all and do a second coat on the outside. Can I get hold of that colour paint? No, I can't. Oh my god, so I'm kicking myself because it wouldn't matter about the outside one because that's had a coat. I just need to finish the side gate and I've got enough left to finish that. And there's an area that I couldn't get to because we've got a tree and there's 4 slats that I can't get to, and I don't know what I'm going to do about that. Am I going to leave it? I mean, it's probably looking stupid. I've not seen it because I really get to go around there because of the neighbours. Anyway, I'm going to be painting the inner fence a totally different colour. I think there's only 3 colours that I can get my hands on. One of them's an instant no. One of them I didn't want, and the third one I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'll do it this colour. But I checked with my dad and I was like, out of these 2 colours, which would you pick? And I never told him my preference, and he basically chose the one that I was going to go for. And it's not going to look the colour that it is because it's going on top of green and the other colour, because like I said, I'd just done 2 full fence panels, and I started on the big fence just to start it. So there's going to be 2 panels where it's basically, because the colour that's underneath the colour that I'm going to put on, I'm not going to say the colour name. It's not going to be the, like if I was putting, and it's, say I was going to paint it white, which is not the colour. Say one panel that I was painting on was red and one was orange. Obviously the red one is going to have like a reddy tint to it. Like it's not going to be red, but you're going to it's going to be like a red toned white. And the other one that's orange is going to be an orange toned white, but it's mainly going to be white, but you will be able to see a difference, basically. And I'm not looking forward to painting it, like I'll be honest, like it took me days, like it took us days to do it, because that fence between the 2 houses is so long and it's tall. Like in some places it's taller than others. Like I don't know why it's taller than others, but apparently it is. And it's going to be a B8, you know what I mean? And then I'm thinking, how many coats am I going to do? Like one's going to drive me crazy. I'm going to see how it dries. I mean, I might be able to get away with one, because obviously, I don't know, we'll see. But I actually need to go and get that. I'm either going to get it tomorrow or Tuesday. And hopefully they've still got some left, because it's also been heavily reduced. But that is it. I'm going to go. You're going to get 3 random videos of me chatting. I'm going to finish my drink. I'm going to see what's left on my to-do list. And do some editing. Well, I'm going to do my to-do list. Because there's something on it I need to do actually. I need to wake myself up more. I need to finish off a very long email. I started it days ago, and I kept, like, it's been on my to-do list a few days in a row, saying I need, like, finish such and such an email, because I want them to have it.